Hey guys, VaulSC here. Hope that you are doing well. I would like to announce a new Infinity Infor tournament for Tabletop Simulator. It's been a while since I did one, but we are going to be having a little event. It is going to be called Meme League 2. Called Meme League 2 because we've actually had another one of these in the past. This one's going to be a little bit different, but it is a normal Infinity event. It's just not an ITS event, and there will really only be one catch. There's only going to be one single custom rule, but it's a bit of a biggie. And it's not going to be for everybody, but here it is. Just bear with me here. When you sign up, you will pick your faction, so you can play vanilla Yuching or Pano or a sectorial like Svalorama or Onyx or whatever it might be. But after you've picked your sectorial and you've signed up and you've got your faction in there, I will write your army list for you. So you'll receive a DM from me and it'll have an army code, and that will be the list that you run for the event. If there's a lot of signups, you may get two lists. So we'll see about that. It'll be either one or two lists. So why would you sign up to an event where someone else is writing the list for you? You know, at the end of the day, writing an army list for an event is half the fun. You know, that's what, you know, a lot of people really enjoy. 50% of the fun is just, you know, preparing and, you know, tinkering with your lists and really agonizing over it, and just people get so much out of that. And the only reason why we're going to try an event where someone else is writing all of the army lists is because it allows for everybody to play a list at a reasonably similar kind of level, and it ensures that nobody is using the guided missile launcher. Nobody is using the Sukiel, the Takiel with the Ferroware, etc. You know, there's no excessive Polaris spare pods. There's no, really optimized lists, which we see carbon copies of every time. There's no net decking. Instead, everybody will have an army list that will contain the normal sort of smattering of specialists and guns and link teams and the normal stuff, but there'll be a lot of off-meta profiles in there. So that will create this experience where, you know, you're seeing some fresh units, you're having to come up with new strategies, and you're having games where it's more likely to come down to skill and luck as opposed to list building. So we're just going to try that out. Look, if it's not your cup of tea, you don't have to play in it. One thing that I'm expecting is there's probably going to be people from the sidelines going, ugh, you know, why the hell would you have an event like that? You know, there's nothing positive that comes from beating up on people that want to do something completely independent of you that affects you in no way. You know, this is just a fun thing that is being offered for free for some people if they want to do it. So that's how it's going to roll. Again, you sign up, you pick your faction, you can pick your favorite faction, you can still do that. You will then receive an army code, you can play some practice games with it if you want, and you'll just be given an opponent as normal, and they will also be in the same boat. You may look at the list that they show up with, you might feel that's stronger or weaker than yours, but it won't be that much different from playing in a normal tournament. You know, when you go to normal tournaments, sometimes lists are stronger or weaker than your opponents, and that's just part of the reality. But in this case, I'm just going to do my best to play to write some really sort of fun, you know, army list designs for people to use. I'm not going to deliberately give you a meme list which is just, you know, geared for you to lose. I'm not going to go, okay, you know, the Rodok costs X number of points and he has a boarding shotgun and I'm just going to put 13 of them there. I'm not going to be, you know, trying to mock you and make fun of you with the list design. I'm going to be trying to put something together that's fun to play, and it's just different. So you sign up for, you know, vanilla Yuching. I'll show you in a minute what I mean by, you know, my idea of a meme list. But it's not going to be intentionally designed to make you lose. It's just going to be intentionally designed to make you play a version of Yuching that most people don't normally play, and everybody will sort of have that same experience. Okay, so this is how we're going to be doing it. You know, I've had a little bit of good response from people who are interested. I don't expect it to be a massive league because, you know, some people are going to end up dropping out either after they've seen the army list or part with the event. I really discourage doing that. You know, there'll probably be a ban list for people who do that, but, you know, it's just an opportunity for us to take a break from ITS. You know, I've been playing Conquest for a while instead of playing Infinity, just because the meta is going a bit stale, but I still do care about an Infinity, and I still do want to, you know, occasionally dabble in the game because it, you know, at a core level, it's quite a fun game. All right. If you go to the link in the video description, you will see this players pack. You can read all the way through it, and if you haven't been in my events before, this will all be new to you, but if you've played in my TTS events before, you know, you will be very familiar with this stuff. So, I mean, the main things you want to sort of just check out are the missions that I've geared for you guys to play, depending on signups, and just the blurb here about, you know, picking the army list here. which is, you know, obviously a big deal. Partway through the form here, there will be a sign up link. So this sign up form will take you to this, and you just need to go through and tell us your name for your Discord. Tell us what faction you're going to play. That's the important part. Whereabouts you are. That can be helpful for first round pairings, just to make sure you're not playing somebody in the wrong time zone that you can't possibly play against. But generally the idea is that you shouldn't really be in the event unless you are flexible and can play on weekends, either the Saturday or Sunday, either in the morning or the evening, just so that if you get someone on the other side of the world, you can be a bit flexible to that. I am asking you guys to agree that, you know, I will write the list for you. You don't sign up unless you're okay with that. If you sign up just so you can see what unless I'm going to send you, and you decide you don't want to play it, so you drop out, that's just really disrespectful. So please try not to be like that. And obviously, I don't want people DMing me and saying, "Hey, look, can you please, you know, give me a link team of etc. and can I have this character?" If you're sending me information, sending me messages like that, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna deny you entry to the event. All right. Okay, just to give you guys a bit of an idea of how I view this, you know, some people think a meme list just means you've got a couple of tags or it's just slightly off meta, and then some people think a meme list is where you just, you know, add something which is really stupid and the entire list just makes no sense. That's not what we're doing, okay? So if I go and make a regular Yu Jing list, let's just go through and add a few profiles that you don't see a lot of, but still make sense, okay? So the Xian Warrior, for example, let's just go grab him, and we'll take a Xian Warrior with a multi-rifle. So Specialist Xian Warrior multi-rifle. Nothing wrong with this profile. It's just that if you play very, very competitive Infinity N4, and you're at the nosebleed level where you're just trying to win events and stuff, you can find more cost-effective stuff than this guy. But for the meme league, you know, I might well add a profile like that into somebody's army. There's nothing wrong with them in that sense. Why didn't I put in a doctor and an engineer? And again, these are just normal things that you may normally take. But, you know, the point of the list is just to make it balanced and have a few off-meta picks in there, right, if that makes sense. So let's go down to Imperial Agents, Pheasant rank. Maybe we could add in like a Killer Hacker. Again, nothing wrong with the profile. It's just in like a normal profile, but there's nothing overpowered about this guy, for example. Won't take too many mercenaries in this one, that's fine. Let's see what else we can put in there. We've got a Bow Trooper with a multi-sniper. Again, really cool, gives you a bit of MSV. We've already got the Xian Warrior in there for the MSV, that's fine. At least we've got a long-range multi-sniper, that's okay. The Doctor can heal him back, so you've got a little bit to work with, is sort of what I'm going there. Let's go down through here. The Hulang Shock Trooper, well, that's a little bit of a meme kind of guy, so let's just grab this guy. SMG dude, he is a specialist. There's the FTO. We're not going to take that guy. We're going to take the we're going to take the SMG guy. Again, this is a very expensive trooper, and it's got a lot it can do. It's just not normally considered to be worth the points by most, you know, expert players. So that's why we're not. That's why we're going to sort of give it a go. Coming down now to Jujaks, they seem pretty memey, so we're going to take a Jujak Lieutenant. You can go in through there. Who else can we put in there? Imperial Agent, Adil. I think I'll put him more in Imperial Service list, or maybe just Yu. I'm not really sure. Again, just if you pick Yu Ching, you're not guaranteed to have me write this specific list for you. It'll just be something along the lines of off-meta profiles, if you know what I'm saying. Obviously, we're not going to throw diggers and stuff like that and beast hunters. I just don't think that's really sort of what we're going for. So we've spent about 200 points. What we'll now come back through and do is just add a lot of the really basic stuff that we see, you know, in people's armies. I may take a few things like no reason not to have a TR bot there. That's fine. Flash pulse bot. That's okay. We've got the sensor bot. Just, I mean, these are normal meta picks. But the idea of the list is it includes some of the off-meta stuff as well. Zanshis, I'm going to take a Fort Observer and a Hacker. Still got a few more points left. So who else could we put in there? There's also the Baggage bot. I kind of wanted to do something with that as well. So if I'm just going to look down here for the Pangolin. There's the Total Reaction Pangolin. You never see that in people's lists. And now we've got a full army list here. This is very playable. What I could do is drop out the Xian Warrior. No, he's kind of cool. So yeah, I could drop out the Xian Warrior and put a couple of smaller sort of off-meta guys there. Or I could just make this person run this list. So this is not a good ITS list, but the idea is that if everybody has an army list which is sort of on this sort of power level where it's got a few things that you could sort of work with, but is weak compared to a list from a normal ITS event, it forces you to sort of think about strategy a bit more and think about, deployment in a different way, the scenario in a slightly different way. But as you can see, this is a list with plenty of guns. It's got a guy that's good in close combat. It's got an engineer and a doctor. You've got something for aero there. Unfortunately, no smoke. So it's a list full of flaws and deficiencies, but you might be up against somebody else who's also suffering from that same problem. Why don't I just build another list here, and let's just see if I can put something else on that same level. So if we go over here and just grab one of these guys, maybe let's just pick foreign company. So what would a foreign company meme list look like? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to have a look at what units are going to be the wild cards. So those are these guys here. What I might do is make this a Hannibal list. So we'll make it a Hannibal list where he's not the lieutenant, which is kind of hilarious. So we're going to take the multi-marksman rifle Hannibal, but he's not even a lieutenant or anything, which is kind of comical. We're going to put a bolt lieutenant in, which is a really decent trooper. Nothing wrong with that. So Hannibal could join with this bolt. Nothing wrong with that either. And then we can put in an orc trooper, and let's put in the orc trooper with the Feuerbuck. There you go. Okay, so we've got a pretty expensive link team there. Then over here, Kaplans, you don't see those guys very often, so we'll take the Doctor, and we'll take the heavy rocket launcher, and let's just put in Wild. No, we're not going to put in Wild Bill. We'll put in Avicenna. No worries. So we've already spent most of our points. I'm going to put a Securitate hacker in there, and I'm going to put in a combi rifle guy. So what you can then do is you can actually, as the player who receives the army list, you can then mix it up quite a bit with those troops and build a bit of a link team outside of sort of what I've prescribed. And then we're going to give this person a Fugazi drone bot, and give them a Pathfinder. We're going to give them a Peacemaker shotgun. So that's actually kind of cool. That's a really useful thing for going up the midfield. Going to give them a Warcore, and we're going to give them a no Cube Jaeger, and then we're going to give them what else could I pop in there? I'm not going to put in the CSU, or I could put in the CSU. We're just looking for things that, and again, if like 3 different people sign up with foreign company lists, I'm going to have to get a bit creative with sort of how that works. A 0, we're going to put in the non-specialist 0. That's kind of hilarious. It's going to be the combi rifle EM Mines guy. And now we've only got 5 points left, but I'm just going to sort of leave it there, to be honest. And what I could then do to get you a 300-point list is I could sort of just move that around a little bit. So let's say the foreign company guy signs up for this and receives this list, and they are not particularly happy, are they? Because they're still thinking about, oh my god, this list would get really badly beaten by normal ITS lists, but they're going to be up against somebody like this, who has like the Sien Warrior in there and the Hulung and stuff, and this person's also feeling a little bit nerfed and handicapped. But when they show up to play, they're both going to see this, say, like horrible weaknesses in each other's lists, okay? So is this particular matchup going to come down to skill and luck? Yeah, it is. It's not going to be a matter of, oh, okay, one person got the luck of the draw and VaulSC just gave one person a super overpowered list and the other person is just a terrible list that stands no chance. You've both got a real off-meta list, which, neither list makes a lot of sense, but you can do stuff with it. If you manage to outsmart your opponent somehow and you play the mission better than them, you can still win despite, problems that you've got going on this list here. So, yeah, both lists have guns at short range, long range. You've got specialists. You've got ways to heal troops. Got cheerleaders. You've got, like, a little bit of arrows here and there. So, I think it's cool. So if you like the idea of that and you're curious to see sort of, how you would go in a meme event where it's more about, your performance and your play as opposed to just winning at the list building stage, maybe you can give this a go. But again, I do stress that this is not for everybody. We're just putting this on for fun, putting this on out of love for, what Infinity's supposed to be like. So if you have any problems with this event, there's no need for you to talk about it. There's no need for you to sign up. Just go and do your own thing. Go back to playing normal ITS 15. But if you would like to play, we're happy to have you. So the link is down below to the Players Pack, and that will take you to the sign-up form partway through the document, and then we'll start processing your sign-ups. And the event will start on the 30th of November, so that's in about a week's time. That's when you will receive the draw, and the following weekend you can start playing. And what we'll do is we'll go for a few weeks through December, and we'll probably take a break over Christmas and the January sort of New Year's holidays. And then if it's a big field, we'll have a couple more rounds after that. But if it's a small event, we should be done after 3 rounds. It just depends on how many people sign up. So I will see you guys there.